Congratulations, Victor. Man, that's awesome. Nobody deserves it more. He's one of the hardest working, most improved kids that's ever come through Indiana University basketball. He's just an elite physical talent, an elite athlete that had the work ethic that it took to go from being just an athlete to being an NBA basketball player. So hats off to you, Victor. Then, of course, we've got the Zeller. He comes in and he is with the Hornets, and Cody got 4 years, $56 million. So, man, $56 million for Cody, $84 million for Victor, and that is, how awesome. Good for IU basketball, good for these kids. That's entertainment for you in America. You go play in the NBA, they make shitloads of money and they hand it out. So I'm glad those guys are getting it. Good people. Got this insane stuff still going on that's I've talked about in one, I think the first shit show episode ever. The nonsense that some of the indigenous people of America, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, the North Dakota oil pipeline. It's a 1,170-mile pipeline, and it comes north of the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. And there it crosses over, it's supposed to cross over the Missouri River. And eventually it's going to be carrying, it's a $3.7 billion project. It's going to carry 470,000 barrels of oil a day, and from fields in West North Dakota into Illinois. The first thing I heard about that, I was immediately suspicious of it. Why? Because it's $3.7 billion and it goes across a bunch of state lines and it's federal money. So does anybody in the fucking world believe that some stinking greedy politician and some corrupt business person doesn't have their hands in the kitty jar here? Are you shitting me? So you guarantee there is fraud, graft, bribery, all kinds of shenanigans, kickbacks. God only knows. So that aspect of it. Then, of course, what the poor Native Americans that have been trodden on and shit on and spit on and pushed down and kept down by the U.S. government since the inception of the U.S. government. They have gone back on numerous treaties with the Sioux. They have have made their territory go smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it was almost nothing. Now all they have is this, and they're building a pipeline right north of it. Now listen, I've done some research into it. I'm no expert on pipelines. I don't know how safe they are. I do know we have shitloads of them all over the country, but most of those are buried. But there have been some incidents of some big-time oil spills that have caused billions of dollars worth of damage. So that, the two of them in particular, both of them cost over $1 billion, billion with a B, to clean up, and poured hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil into the soil. Where, I just don't, I'm not enough of a scientist to know how that, I know it gets in the watershed. I know it then goes into the water, and I know but I just don't know what the distribution of it is and how it affects things. But I know it can't be good. But what the federal courts have apparently done with this pipeline, they've stopped it from going across the river while the Army Corps of Engineers reviews the plans that they've already approved. To me, that's shady as shit too. So did this just get pushed through and they said, sign off on this shit, Army Corps of Engineers, and now the federal courts are involved, and now it's going to come to light that there's just more? I don't know. I just don't trust them. Listen, we're always saying, well, we want to be independent of the Middle East for fuel. Well, we're getting some fuel from our own country, so I'm not sure that bothers me. It's the way we disperse the oil. And there needs to be more looked into. It's $3.7 billion. I'm sure some shady shit went on. But it just is indicative of the point and the fact and my belief that we need alternative sources of energy. Is this not total proof of it? There's a big fucking ball of energy in the sky that comes up every day in the east and sets in the west. It's called the sun, and it's super fucking powerful. Go stand outside sometime and see if it burns your skin or turns your skin tan or makes you hot. I mean, there's so much energy coming from the sun And the fact that we can't find a way to harness that energy any better than we have leads me to believe that there is not enough money to be made in it for big businesses and government. Because if everybody gets their own power through solar power, how is our scum government going to regulate power and get their fingers into it and steal money from us? If everybody has solar panels on their own property and creates their own power, what are all these big businesses going to do that get to just charge us, the monopolies that get to charge us whatever they please and desire, and the regulatory committees that are supposed to represent us, the people that actually through the government represent the damn companies they're supposed to be stopping? It's ridiculous. But that is no big surprise. And this outfit is called Energy Transfer Partners that is building this pipeline. So look into them. They're making shitloads of money. It sure would be nice if the Indians, the Native Americans, they've got some pretty big councils together over this. I guess some of the biggest councils and groupings of Indian tribes since 1867, 1871, something like that I read. So this is it's something we need to look into and something we need to learn more about. But it seems right now that they're just trotting all over the rights of these Native Americans. They arrested 142 people the other day. And they said that the cops and the Bureau of Land Management and everybody involved was just overbearing and, peaceful protesters being beaten up and dragged off, 142 of them. There's been 400 Native Americans arrested during peaceful protest. So now listen, this incident with 142 people,